How to boil green plantain. What is the best way to cook green plantain? Welcome to Ama Cooks and let's dive right in. Our ingredients for today's boiled plantain is green plantain. I bought this for a while. I just put it in the fridge and then it looks like this, but there is nothing wrong with it. All that is still green. All we have to do is just take the skin off. I'm going to use sardine. You can use anything you want. You can use chicken, beef, you can use fried fish, but I just happen to have sardine because I love sardine with plantain and hot pepper. So we're going to be using that. We're also going to use 2 eggs, which we are going to boil. Then I have my onions here, 1 little garlic, a little thumb-sized ginger, this lovely sweet peppers, the yellow and the red, and tomatoes. First thing, we're going to start boiling the water. So I'm going to add 4 cups of water in here. And we are going to add a little kosher salt to taste, just a little. Put that in the water. And then we're just going to leave this on high so the water can boil quickly. So I'm just going to take the skin off this plantain. See how lovely and fresh that looks. And we are going to cut this into It's always good to scrape your plantain when you are boiling. When you are making plantain fufu, you don't have to scrape it. But when you are just boiling the plantain for eating just like that, then you have to scrape it. And it will take all the little stuff off there. Be careful when you are using your knife because your knife can go through this plantain skin and cut your hand. So just be careful. You scrub it so you don't have any skin of the plantain skin on here. So we are going to cut this in half like this. Be careful with your knife, just like that, half. Careful with your knife so you don't cut yourself. Alright, so now our plantain is ready. We are just going to put this in the hot boiling water. So we are going to put our plantain in here. We are just going to cook this probably almost 10 minutes because we don't want this to cook too much, to be mushy. You want your plantain to be a little bit harder so you can enjoy it. So we put all that in. And we are going to add our eggs in here. We're going to cook all these together. And then now we're just going to leave this to cook in here for about 10 to 15 minutes. And then we'll come and take a look at this. And we are going to cover this, but don't cover it all because it's going to boil over. So we're just going to do it slightly and then keep your eye on it. If it is boiling vigorously, then just take the lid off or just turn down the heat so it will boil slowly, but just halfway because you want to keep an eye on it. So we're going to leave it that way. Also remember, plantain have no taste, so putting salt in the water helps the flavor out. So keep that in mind. All right, so we are going to use these 2 peppers. I'm just going to cut them so it'll be a little bit easier on our blender, and I'm going to put all this in here. And then our ginger, just cut it up a little smaller. And then our garlic, just a little smaller. You can choose to add garlic to it. Just chunk for this hot pepper. We are going to have some for garnishing in the pepper. So what I'm going to do is I am going to slide this. Just a little slice. And this will be for our garnishing. Alright, so this should be enough for our garnishing. And then I'm going to add the rest to our hot pepper. And I'm going to put this one in here, one. Then this rest will go in here. Now the tomatoes, just cut this in chunks. Just in chunks. Then we are going to make one for garnishing. So we are going to cut this very thin with our onions. Just get this out together in slices. Alright, now we are just going to add this to our onions. Alright, now this is what we are going to add a little salt to this and add our sardine. Going to be our garnish. We're going to put this in our blender. I'm going to add our tomato juice. We don't want to waste anything, so I'm going to add all that to it. So this is our tomato onions. We are going to put this in the blender. Just take a quick look at our plantain. It's boiling good. It's been 5 minutes. We don't want it to be mushy, so we can see. So just few more minutes. So at 10 minutes, it should be ready. Cooking good. So we're going to leave this on more. That is halfway. And with our hot pepper, we are just going to pause this. Pepper looks so nice. This is the texture we want. Now we're gonna test our plantain and see if it's ready. Just gonna poke a little. Yeah, it went through right away, so that is enough. You don't want to cook it too much to make it mushy. So we are taking this off. We're just gonna drain the lid on like that, and just be careful with the heat. All right, so we want to slow the cooking. We don't want it to be cooked, so we are going to add cold water, and that will stop it from cooking more. And I'm going to strain this again because the water is still hot, and then we just add one more cold water. Now it should stop cooking, so we still have good plantain. So it's not mushy, it's still going to be firm for us when we are eating it. So we're going to add a little salt to this. And then we're just going to toss this. And then mix it all good. That tastes really good. Now we are going to add our hot pepper. I am going to scrape this in so we don't waste any sauce here. And then I'm just going to add this. Remember, we didn't add any water because the tomato and everything has given us water. And then we just scrape this in here. And it's not that blend, it's just, all right. And then we're just going to mix this and all this mix in very nicely. Now our hot pepper is ready. And we are not going to add any salt. And that looks so good, so delicious. If you add salt, it's going to be watery because it's already a little water in it with the tomatoes. So don't add any salt to it. Add salt as you take some, so then it will still be, you can keep this in the fridge for a week. It will still be good to eat. But if you add salt, it's going to be too watery, so don't add any salt, but add salt as you go. And this is so lovely. Look at that. So we are going to take some of our sauce in here, and then we are going to add salt to taste. Really delicious. Just add salt as you go. Okay, so that is enough. So you can keep this in the fridge for at least a week and it will still be good and it won't be. Now we are going to add our sardine in here and mix this in. And then our hot pepper is ready. This sauce is really good for banku, yam, boiled plantain, fried yam. You can eat this with anything, almost everything, with rice. It's delicious. Hot pepper, really good. Now our plantain is ready. We are just going to take it out of the water. Then we have our eggs, and we are just going to break this. Look at how nice that comes out. And that is so perfect. And this is so delicious. This is so delicious, so tasty, lovely. You enjoy this. And then the final one, then we add our eggs right there, right there. Look at how delicious, how lovely this looks. And hot pepper with sardine, and this is delicious, delicious. Hello friends, so this is how we boil green plantain with hot pepper with boiled eggs. This is Ghanaian dishes that we make all the time, Ghanaian recipe that you will find almost in every home. This is really delicious, this is really good, it's filling and you enjoy this. Make sure you don't overboil the plantain as we did, and also watch my next video of how to fry green plantain with hot pepper. And so let's see how this comes out. So see. Look the inside of our plantain. It looks so lovely, so great, amazing. Subscribe to this channel so I can make more videos like this. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you on my next video.